Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the transaction buttons. So these transaction buttons are usually found in the first two tabs over here under main and miscellaneous. So you'll see these buttons, error, extra, account, receipt. Some of them we've already gone through, but I'll go through in each one of them in detail. What I'll do is I'll start off with the hotkeys actually. So you'll notice in the hotkeys there are 8 transaction buttons you can actually put here. So I'll start with these ones to start off with. The error button is, let's say I've got a sample order over here. No, we'll say salt. And error, what error does is if I click it, you'll notice that the last item gets deleted. Now let's say I want to delete this second item and I click error, that item gets deleted. Now sometimes you might just want to clear the whole screen in one go, and to do that we'll actually click on clear over here and that clears the whole screen. Now when I put in some orders, let's put in some orders like this. Let's say something that I am trying to put in is worth $4.50 and it's not in one of these buttons here. So a quick way to add that $4.50 is by clicking on this extra button. So what I'll do is I'll click on $4.50 and I'll click on extra, and now here I can actually describe what that item might be. So for example, I'll go special roll and I'll go that's taxable, and you'll see here special roll has come up and $4.50 has come up. Now let's say they want to order 5 of those special rolls. The way you want to do that is by using this quantity button over here. So you click on 5, then you click on quantity, and you'll notice that the last item you're having 5 of them. Let's say you want that chica rolls and you want to order 8 of those chica rolls. So what I'll do is I'll click on it, I'll select it first, then I'll click on 8, then I'll click on quantity. So you'll notice there that the quantity has changed. This percentage minus button over here is just giving them a discount on all the products over there. So the way we want to give them a discount is, let's say they want 10% off. They don't want 10% off, but you want to give that 10% off. We'll go 10 and then we'll go percentage minus. And what this has done is that it's created a discount over there. If I move my face, the total will come up over here. So $48.51 is what their total bill has come up to, and when they want to pay, we'll click on $50 over here and the change due comes up, and if you've got your cash drawer connected, the cash drawer will open up automatically as well. So now you'll notice that this transaction is actually done. However, the screen still has all the items, but if you click a new item like a beef croquette, that screen will automatically have new items coming up over there. So what I'll do is I'll clear this. Oh yeah, I didn't show you this override button. So what this override button actually does is, let's say you ordered a potato cake, and for that potato cake, let's say you want to change that price of just that one item of that potato cake. So the way you want to change the price of this one is by going on 0, let's say you want to charge 50 cents, so you'll go 0.5 and then you'll click on override, and that changes the price of that potato cake. These buttons are really handy. You just need to get used to the right order of doing things with these buttons. So usually you press the price first and then you click the button. Now if I go into the main, let's see which buttons I haven't covered. The receipt button I think is in the hotkeys as well. So the receipt button is usually after you've processed a transaction. You can click on receipt if the customer wants a receipt. There's a setting in the system where you can have automatic receipt printing turned on as well if you like, but to save paper, I usually recommend, process that transaction, cash it off. For example, it's $10.50, they give you $20, and now you click the receipt. So you always click the receipt button after you've processed their payment. The other buttons over here could be reprint. So if you want to reprint an old bill, we can just click on that old bill and we can click print. And that will print that old bill. We'll cancel that if I move my head, what other buttons could be useful? Accounts, I've already gone through it. With members, you can actually add accounts and put the transaction under an account name. No sale is so that simply the cash drawer pops open. Override. Void is if you want to void a past ticket. So you can click on that one ticket over here, which is $10.50, and you click on void, and you can void that transaction. What else? Paid out is, let's say a supplier comes and you need to give them $20 cash. What you do is you click on 20 and then you click on paid out, and let's say it's taxable, and that's $20 that has gone out of the till. So it'll come under the reports that you've paid someone out of the till $20. Return is, for example, if someone orders crumbed prawn, right? Unable to add items, sorry, I need to clear this first. So I'll clear this. Now let's say someone orders a crumb prawn and you want to, they bring it back. No one's going to do this with a crumb prawn, but they might do it with a retail item. So for example, a book. So a book comes in and they want to return it. You just click on return and you click on cash. All right, and that return has been processed there. And what that does is that it matches up your stock levels as well. I showed you search, clear, I've shown you log on is staff logging on, so having usernames. What I'll do is I'll create a separate video on how to have staff logins and logouts. So these are the main buttons over here. If you go under miscellaneous, oh, there's more buttons here. These are a bit more advanced buttons and you might not use it. The percentage plus and minus, we've covered it. The dollar minus is similar as well. What I'll do is these buttons over here, cash out is, let's say they want $50 cash out, and you go 50 and cash out, and you can charge them for $50 through your EFTPOS machine. All these other buttons here, it's probably worth going into the manual and control Fing it. So the way you go to the manual is, let's go into the home screen, you go on Neopos help over here, and I'll open it with Chrome. And let's say there's a button that you're not quite sure about. So the best way to go about it is by going over here. All right, so which button am I not sure about? So let's say the hire button. Let's say I have some items that I want to put out for hire. What I simply do here is I'll go Control F and I'll go hire. And I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to see, okay, so there's minimum hire period and there's some text around that, and you'll notice that there's a lot of information here that will actually tell you step by step. I made these videos to kind of make it easier for you guys and to give you a bit of a visual cue, because everyone loves videos, but to get the details of every single button, I highly recommend you going into this manual and figuring out what each button does as well. But we've covered good ground. We've covered the majority of the buttons that you'll be using, but if you need to use those extra buttons as well, you can always go into the manual.